Welcome back to Plugged In with Enovate AI, the podcast where we break down how technology is reshaping energy, sustainability, and the future of innovation.
That's right. And we've got a big one for you today. We're diving into what it really means to digitize our energy systems.
Ooh, digitize. Sounds very corporate buzzwordy, doesn't it?
It totally does. But I promise by the end, it's going to make perfect sense. And it's actually kind of cool.
Kinda cool. All right, Jordan, I'm holding you to that. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's just tackle that buzzword thing head on. When you hear digitizing energy, what comes to mind, Alex? Like robots flipping switches?
Ha, exactly. Or just a lot of spreadsheets. But it's so much more fundamental than that. Think of it less like an upgrade and more like giving our entire energy grid a brand new nervous system.
A nervous system. I love that because that's what it is, right? It's about making our grid aware, self-aware even, moving from a system of big, clumsy, one-way instructions to a smart, responsive network.
Exactly. So let's break down what that nervous system is made of. The most common example people hear is smart grids.
Right, which isn't just one thing. It's about having sensors everywhere, on power lines, at substations, even in our homes with smart meters. They're all constantly talking to each other, sharing data in real time.
And that data is gold. For example, it allows for predictive maintenance. Instead of waiting for a transformer to blow during a heat wave,
Which always seems to happen when you're in the middle of binge watching a show.
always, instead of that, the system can say, hey, transformer B is running a little hot, showing signs of stress. Let's fix it before it fails. It's proactive, not reactive.
It's the difference between your car telling you it needs an oil change versus the engine just, seizing up on the highway.
Perfect analogy. And this all hinges on that real-time data flow we mentioned. Information moving at the speed of light, not the speed of a guy in a truck driving out to read a meter once a month.
Okay, so we have this massive nervous system collecting just unimaginable amounts of data every second. But data by itself is just noise. You need a brain to make sense of it all. And that's where AI comes in.
The brain of the operation, exactly. This is where companies like Enovate AI are really changing the game. They build the AI frameworks that can sift through all that noise and find the meaningful signals.
And what do those signals help with? Well, for one, market forecasting. AI can look at weather patterns, historical usage, even social events, and predict how much energy a city will need tomorrow or next week.
Which is huge, because if you know what's coming, you can prepare. That leads right into emissions optimization. If the AI knows there's going to be a huge surge in demand, it can figure out the absolute cleanest, most efficient way to meet it. Maybe that means drawing more from wind farms when it's gusty, or from solar when the sun is out.
Instead of just firing up the old, less efficient coal or gas plant as the default backup, it makes our operations smarter and cleaner.
It's all about making trillions of tiny, smart decisions every single moment, something no team of humans could ever do. The AI acts as this super intelligent energy traffic controller.
And this has a pretty big impact on the less glamorous side of things, too. Policy and regulation.
Yes, the paperwork. My favorite.
But seriously, governments and regulators are setting ambitious carbon neutral goals. To meet them, you need to be able to prove you're actually reducing emissions. You can't just pinky promise.
Right. And when your entire system is digitized, you have this incredible, transparent log of everything. You can show regulators, look, here's the data. We met this much demand using this much renewable energy, and we optimized our grid to save this many tons of CO2.
It creates accountability. It makes the green transition something we can measure, manage, and verify, not just hope for.
Let's make this super simple. Let's paint a picture. It's the hottest day of the year, 3 p.m., and everyone is cranking up their air conditioning.
The classic grid buster scenario. In the old days, the utility company sees the demand spike, and their only real option is to fire up a peaker plant, an often older, less efficient, and more polluting power plant that sits idle just for these moments.
Expensive and dirty. But in a digitized system, the AI saw this coming hours ago by analyzing weather forecasts. First, it might have sent a signal to batteries across the grid to store up cheap solar power during the sunny morning.
Then, as the demand starts to rise, it intelligently routes that stored power to where it's needed most. It might even send a tiny automated request to smart thermostats in thousands of homes, asking to raise the temperature by just 1 degree for 15 minutes, something most people wouldn't even notice.
And the combined effect of all those tiny adjustments is that the massive demand spike is smoothed out. The peaker plant never has to turn on. The lights stay on, everyone stays cool, money is saved, and we avoid dumping a bunch of carbon into the atmosphere.
See? Kind of cool, right?
Oh, okay. You were right. That is pretty cool.
This shows that digitization isn't just about computers. It's the backbone that makes a flexible, resilient, and clean energy future possible. It connects everything.
The platform on which everything else is built. You can have all the solar panels and wind turbines in the world, but without a smart, digitized grid to manage them, you'll never reach their full potential.
It's a huge undertaking for sure, but it's the fundamental step toward hitting those carbon neutral goals we're all aiming for.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Hopefully, we've demystified the buzzword a little bit.
Thanks for tuning in to Plugged In with Enovate AI. Join us next time as we explore another piece of our electrifying future.
See you then.